Hey everyone, Caesar here. Welcome to another Shadowlands beta video. Now in this video I just wanted to show that there actually are general legendaries that they're adding in Shadowlands. Now you can't really actually, make pretty much any of them, but there are 7 total that we can actually look at of the effects, and appears to be an 8th one that's either not in or it's one of the other ones that don't have a slot yet. So I'm just going to go over these 7 real quick. So the first one people will remember from Legion, or at least the name, Sephuz. This one's Sephuz's Proclamation, and it reduces the effectiveness of crowd controlling effects by 25%. And when you successfully apply a loss of control to an enemy, or interrupt an enemy, or dispel any target, you'll increase all of your secondary stats by 53 for 15 seconds. And it can only occur once every 30 seconds. So that's pretty cool. And another thing that's different about these legendaries from the other ones that we picked, all of them except for one of them can actually go on 3 different slots. So this one will go on chest, shoulders, and neck. Now the next one can go on cloak, pants, or boots, and it's Norgannon's Sagacity. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce the word or not, but when you cast a spell, you get a stack, and it'll stack up to 10 times. And when you move, you're able to cast while moving for 0.5 seconds for each stack. So if you stack it up to the full amount, then you can move for 5 seconds. You can cast for 5 seconds and move at the same time. So that's pretty cool too. And then the next one is the stable Phantasma lure, just specifically for Torghast. And this one can be put on cloak, wrist, or neck, and it'll increase the Phantasma earned by 25%. Looting Phantasma from enemies will also have a chance to summon a Phantasma demon, and this will run around in a random direction, and when you kill it, it'll increase the amount of Phantasma earned by 10%, an additional 10% for the entire party. So a good way to farm some extra Phantasma there. Now the fourth one is one that I can actually put on at least this character, and it's called Echo of Eonar, and it actually goes uh, it affects healing spells. So your healing, it'll summon a spiritual familiar, and then your healing spells and abilities will have a chance to send the familiar to a nearby ally, and it'll increase the damage and healing that they do for 20 seconds. And if there are no allies, then it'll just go to the nearest enemy and increase the amount of damage that you do against them. Now, there's some typos here, and the numbers don't look really right, so yeah, that'll be the wording and stuff will be made clear, I'm sure. But it's you have a familiar. Whenever you heal, you can send that familiar to, if you're in a party, to an ally that'll increase their own damage and healing. And if you're solo, then it'll just increase your own damage. But it didn't say healing though. So yeah, either way, that's a pretty decent one. And then we have the Judgment of the Arbiter for number 5. This is probably my favorite one of the bunch, and it can go on gloves, helm, and wrists. And what it does is dealing damage will have a high chance to release a blast of spiritual energy, which is holy damage. And if another ally also has this legendary equipped, and they're within 5 to 20 yards, then the blast will arc to them, dealing damage to all enemies within the arc. So let's say you have 2 people, you just 2 people with the same legendary, and you go up to 20 yards apart and there's enemies between you. When you do that, when that procs on one person, it'll arc to the other person to also do that damage. So like this could be a pretty good one, I think, especially for like Mythic Plus, or just any type of AOE situation, and even raids. You just have a bunch of people equip that, and position yourselves correctly. You can get a lot of extra AOE damage out just from and it's just from attacking, just dealing damage. So that's really cool, and I definitely can't wait till that's testable, especially in a group scenario. Now, number 6 is called Third Eye of the Jailer. What am I saying? Third Eye of the Jailer. So this one goes on helm, shoulders, and belt. So here's shoulders, third eye. Killing a creature in the maw will increase your damage. Of course, the number's not in yet. And then killing a creature with the same name will continue to stack it up to 5 times. And they're reset when you kill a creature with a different name. So that's a way to make the maw easier and faster. You just get this stacking, basically damage increase, as long as you're killing the same type of creature. And then the final one is Vitality Sacrifice, which only goes on helm and shoulders. So this one is the first time you damage an elite enemy, you'll absorb the next certain amount of damage. Again, it's not in yet, and reflect it back to them. And it cannot occur again if your current absorb is still on. So your current absorb has to be taken away before you can get the effect again. That's a pretty decent defensive, I think, when we actually get the number. Seems like a pretty good, decent defense legendary because you'll be able to absorb damage, but also you'll be able to reflect it back to them. So it's defensive, but also will, still do damage. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think these are some pretty cool general legendaries. Again, there's 7 of them currently, maybe 8, because there was one. There was like, because if you see here, the little grayed out ones means that I can't make them right now, and it would just there's a question mark there for boots. So yeah, it's grayed out just like the rest of them. So I think that means, yeah, boots and pants. I think that means that there's an 8th legendary that they have currently, and there could be more, but at least now we know there's 7 general legendaries that all classes most likely, based on their effects, will be able to use. They're just not in the beta. They're just not craftable yet, and there's going to be most likely an 8th one. So that's kind of huge. Just add 8 basically legendaries onto everybody's list, and I think we have a pretty good amount of legendaries right now. Even if they and it can always add more later. But if it's like Legion, they might only add like 1 or 2 more. But even if that's the case, once we get all of the legendaries fully in the game, I think it's a pretty good selection, especially since you can choose exactly how you want. So that's it for this video. If you liked the video, please give a like and subscribe for future videos. And as always, thanks for watching.